What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and today I am going to be reading a very controversial article that was released about Rian Johnson's new movie, Knives Out. So for those of you that are not aware, Rian Johnson is the complete moron that created The Last Jedi and completely ruined Luke Skywalker and, brought us all here today, with the after effects of what happened from The Last Jedi. And, when I first saw The Last Jedi, that's when I was, so absolutely blood boiling, like skin crawling, because I was like, what the hell am I watching? This is not Star Wars. And then everyone in my entire life asked me, what the heck do you mean, Anna? You don't like a Star Wars movie? And then I made a video about it, and I am here today. But Rian Johnson made another movie called Knives Out. And what the rumors have been with Knives Out is if that it's not a success, that they will not give him his trilogy, because Disney keeps saying, oh yeah, Rian Johnson's going to be doing a Star Wars trilogy. He's going to be doing one. He's going to be doing one. Have they announced any dates for that? No. Has there any news on it aside from the fact that he's doing it? Nope. So the rumor is that his Star Wars trilogy is riding on whether or not this movie Knives Out is going to be a flop or not. And there have been some articles that have been released by critics. If you watched my Dave Chappelle video, you'll be aware of my opinions on critics and just how, if they say something's good, it's most likely bad, and if they say something's bad, it's most likely good. So there's this article that I came across. I sent it to Jeremy on Geeks and Gamers. He read it on a live stream, and I know that everyone got a big kick out of it. But we're going to read it here. I'm going to read it aloud for everyone, and we are going to go through the craziness that is, do I need to say it? The SJWs, the crazy people that worship the ground that Rian Johnson walks on. So, let's go take a look at this article. Alright, everyone, I have this article pulled up, and right off the back, we can see what the avenue of this article is going to be. Knives Out review, Rian Johnson's hugely entertaining, says here. Whodunit offers sharp takedown of white entitlement. Okay, wow. What color is Rian Johnson's skin again? Oh, yeah, it's white. I don't understand these people that like to virtue signal when it's like, bro, You're a white dude. You're a white director. Stop. You want to say bad white entitlement? Okay, then quit and give the job to somebody else. Let another director come and direct this movie. If you're so against white people, which is a clear form of racism, if you're completely against one race just because they're white, people don't get to choose what color their skin is when they're born. So if you're just going to hate on people because they're white, I mean, that's racism. That's just straight up racism right here in the title. All right, then we got Jamie Lee Curtis right there. Let's read this. Rian Johnson's Knives Out, a crackling, devious, and hugely satisfying old-school whodunit with a modern twist. So it's basically a knockoff of Clue, basically. Wants you to know that it takes place in the world of today. Oh, okay, cool, there's texting. Great. In fact, it wants you to know that it wants you to know. Okay, so that means it's like in your face. Oh my god, texting. Oh my god, I have to post this on Twitter. Oh my god, let me vlog this. Oh my gosh, let me take a picture of my food for Instagram. That's what it tells me. I haven't seen this movie yet. I don't have any desire to see this movie, but if it's in my face that people are going to be on their phones the entire movie and people are going to act the way they do, complete turn off right there. Hardly a minute goes by without some reference to the here and now of it all. Oh, great. So he has no understanding of the word subtlety, or he doesn't understand the concept of reading through the lines. I mean, come on. Movies used to be good. Great. I mean, I don't know why I'm expecting anything from Rian Johnson, but let's power through this. When legendary crime novelist Harlan Thornbay, Christopher Plummer, is found dead the morning after his 85th birthday. It's as if the past dies. Oh my God, what does that remind you of? Star Wars. Let the past die, kill it if you have to. With him. And the present comes rushing in to replace it, eager to claim the inheritance to which it always felt entitled. Oh my God. This is Star Wars. This is The Last Jedi all over again. Holy fucking shit. Oh my God. He ruined Clue now with this. Walt, Michael Shannon, who runs his late father's publishing house, can be heard yammering on selling all the movie rights to Netflix. Oh my God. Technically, the moment takes place in one of the film's many seamless flashbacks. Okay, so he's using flashbacks. But it's not as if Harlan's kids were ever shy about their intentions. When famed detective Benoit Blanc, whenever it's a foreign word, I never know how to pronounce it right. So I'm just gonna say Daniel Craig. I'm just going to call him Daniel Craig because that's who that is to me. Daniel Craig shows up to slew out the killer. An odd member of the Torm Bay clan exclaims, "I read a tweet." Oh my God, this is exactly what it says, Twitter, about a New Yorker article about you. In a very funny movie where even the most throwaway jokes are later exhumed with vital importance, it's not a surprise that the profile in question eventually resurfaces as one of the script's innumerable plot points. Oh, sweet Jesus. So it's an ongoing joke that somebody read about this guy. Oh my God. I'm not even halfway through this article and I already know exactly what this movie is about, and it's god awful. Holy freaking shit. So basically, Rian Johnson doesn't have a creative bone in his body. He doesn't know anything about storytelling. This is probably his first script again because he doesn't. Has this man never read a book? Does this man not understand the art of storytelling or the art of subtlety? This is literally like, it's not even, it's insulting to the concept of farce, but I feel like that's just what it is. This is just a farce of everything that, used to make good entertainment, and he's just making it bad, and people are praising him for it. I don't understand what is going on with this culture and with today's day and age that this is something that gets praised when, let's just like deconstruct storytelling. Let's just take, like, Rian Johnson, take the past, kill it if you have to. Don't you understand that there are some great things that happened in the past? That, I mean, some of the most greatest stories ever told were from, thousands and thousands of years ago, like legends that we still know today because they're that good of stories. Like, we're never gonna not have to read Shakespeare. We're never gonna not have to learn about the Odyssey. I mean, even books that take place, not too far in the past, but, one of the books that I love so much, The Good Earth, I mean, that takes place in China, and it's just about a farmer and, him making his way in the world. That's, just the plot right there. I mean, it doesn't sound like the most captivating book, but it's such a good story, the way that it's told, and just this man's life and his wife and, their children and just their journey through life and the things that they go through. It's fascinating. And all Rian Johnson does is make a mockery of storytelling, and then he wants to destroy white entitlement. Bro, you're fucking white. You're pale. I mean, I feel like if you put you in the sun for too long, you're gonna burn and turn into a cherry. Like, you want to destroy the patriarchy. You want to destroy white entitlement. Bro, you're a man and you're white. You wanted to yell at everyone because we didn't like your Star Wars movie because it was absolute shit, because anyone that likes Star Wars, anyone that's watched a Star Wars movie can watch that movie and tell you that is not Luke Skywalker, that everything you did in that movie was complete crap. You want to get mad and be like, oh, you're a bunch of misogynistic man babies. Bro, look at you. Look at you. Go look in the mirror. You ruined Star Wars. Now you're going to ruin Clue. I wasn't interested in this movie. I loved the original Clue movie. I loved it. With Tim Curry, that was a great movie. And I mean, even like how it had the alternate endings. That was so fun. I remember, watching it and be like, oh, what ending are we going to get this time type of thing. That was great. This, it's like, oh my God, what, like, why? You're making, I mean, it would be one thing if he just straight up came out and said, oh, hey, guys, I'm a comedian. I'm not the best comedian. I'm going to try to do everything in comedy, but make you think I'm serious. It makes me think of, like, Tommy Wiseau. It's like with The Room. He wanted to make a serious movie, and everyone laughed and thought it was funny, and he just ran with it like it was a comedy, because he's just like, nobody understood my artistic vision, but everyone likes it for, what they think it is, and he just ran with it. I feel like Rian Johnson is like the Tommy Wiseau of our time, but he's like, no, it's serious, and everyone's just like, bro, calm your shit. That's a comedy. It's not real. This is a really bad, satire. It's a really bad farce of this thing that you're trying to make. It's not done well. It's not a good comedy by any means, but there's no way, like, you couldn't be serious. But no, he's like, I'm serious, and if you don't believe me, if you don't agree with me, you're a misogynistic man, baby. It's like, holy crap. Oh my God. Sorry about the little rant. Let's power through this, guys. I'm not even halfway through. This is ridiculous. In a very funny movie where even the most throwaway jokes are later exhumed with vital importance. I already wrote that. It's no surprise that the profile in question eventually resurfaces as one of the script's innumerable plot points. Great. A joke is one of the innumerable plot points. References to everything from juggling to a baby driver are strewn in around the rest of the story, not since Hamilton has a juicy slice of theatrical entertainment been so openly determined to bridge the gap between old history and new language. What part of all this is throwing let the past die, killed if you have to. That's all I've gotten out of this. You want to compare Rian Johnson to Hamilton? Hey, I loved the story of Alexander Hamilton. I remember learning about that when I was a little kid, when the teacher in like 3rd grade went through and showed us the money, and I was like, this is who this is, this is who that. Well, we kind of knew. And then I remember one of the things that stood out to me was the reason why Alexander Hamilton died was because he wouldn't shoot. His son died in a duel, so he wouldn't shoot, and the guy shot him and he died. That's what I remembered of Alexander Hamilton. I was like, oh, wow. That's a pretty powerful story to be telling, an 8-year-old. And then when I heard the play was coming out, everyone's like, oh yeah. And then I found out it was a rap. I was like, oh nope. If there's one thing I cannot listen to, I would rather listen to nails being scratched across a chalkboard than listen to rap music. I cannot stand rap music. I hate it with a burning passion. All my friends that love Hamilton, they try to get me to listen to music. I'm like, this is noise. This is pain. I'm in physical pain listening to this music. But some people like it. But that it takes a lot to write a play. It takes a lot to write a musical. And the things that I've heard. It was a really well thought out, production. So comparing that amount of work to, and I believe like everyone in that play except for the guy that. I think there's only one white man in the cast, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. They want to do something different, and he was creative, and he wrote this play, and he had, I can never remember this guy's name. He's got like 10 names, like I think Emmanuel something. But the dude, he also wrote the music to Moana. That's how I remember who he is. That dude, he had a vision. He wanted it to be executed a certain way. He wanted to use an ethnic cast, and he did it, and he didn't take something and shit all over it. He took something and lifted it up and gave it this new platform and used this type of music. He did that. He created that. And because of, I remember there was going to be this petition to take Hamilton off of the $10 bill, and they didn't do that because the musical came out and it was a worldwide phenomenon. So pros to him. You want to do something like that, you want to have inclusion, you want to have diversity, then do what that guy did. If you want to take something that already existed, the story that already existed, and put your own twist on it, and you want to have the most diverse cast ever, great. Do that. Don't take something like Star Wars. Don't take something like Clue, which from what I saw, I feel like that was an all-white cast. From what I saw from the trailers of it, it looked like a white-dominated cast. But don't take stuff like that and then, break it down and try to, destroy it and then be like, oh, yeah, I took what you did, I ripped it up, I lit it on fire, I pissed all over it, and then present this garbage, pissed on ash to us and expect us to like it, because we're not going to. What the other dude did was he took bits and pieces and then he put them together and he built something. That's respectable. I 100% respect the dude that created Hamilton, the play. Props to that guy. Congratulations. I am so happy for him and his success. I don't, it's not my thing. It's not what I like. I love history, but if it was any other type of music, I would be down, but not my thing. But I respect what that guy did. I'm proud of him. Good for you, dude. What Rian Johnson's doing is not the same. So making this comparison, that's honestly insulting to the dude that created Hamilton. There's a Hamilton reference too, of course. Of course there is. And that might be the most important nod of all. Oh, okay. So again, virtue signaling. He just wants props. Oh, I mentioned Hamilton. That means we're gonna be good. We're gonna be buddy. I'm gonna give you a shout out, dude. Which means I'm on your level and low key getting credit for your work. Oh, I mentioned Hamilton. Using somebody else's hard work to make, your own self-entitlement. That's disgusting. It comes to The Expanse of Martha, Anna D. Arms, I don't know who that is, Harlan's sweet-natured South American caregiver. When one of the Clue's young cops who nips at Benoit's Hills declares, immigrants, they get the job done. Oh my god. So you're gonna have a character be racist. Well, I mean, whatever. This is ridiculous. The virtue signaling is so strong. The first time someone takes note of Martha, however, they refer to as the help. Well, I mean, that's her job. In fairness, she's the only one who doesn't hurt. What does that mean? By contrast, every single member of the Harlan's star-studded family is out for blood. As soon as the patriarch's body is discovered, oh my god, this is... I already said this. He wants to destroy the patriarchy. He wants to show that all white people are bad and everyone of color is good. That's why he's making references to Hamilton. That's why, they have this forced help character. Like, come on, the virtue signaling. This is so bad, and I'm only reading an article, and this person liked it. That's the crazy thing. This person is praising this movie, but everything they're reading is just exposing it for what it is. Let's see. As soon as the patriarch's body is discovered in the attic, why did you even have to use patriarch? Why couldn't you just said the dad? Just say the dad's body. Come on. Hideaway above his mansion. All of the children, grandkids, and in-laws who lived under this roof are ready to point fingers. Things get especially heated once his death stops looking like a suicide. Oh, great. Some of them are more likable than others, but none of them are easy to love. Great, so they have no redeemable qualities or characters. Linda, Jamie Lee Curtis, built her own business from the ground up, so it sounds like she's a matriarch. She only needed $1 million loan from her daddy to do it. Joni. Oh my god. Is this a reference to the president? That is. Because, I don't know too much about him. When I was a kid, I couldn't say... I thought his name was Donald Trumpet. And I always called him Trumpet. And my parents, we always referred to him as the guy with the funny hair. And I always called him Donald Trumpet until I was a grown-up. And then I learned that his name was Trump, not Trumpet. But I always called him that. But this is literally an exact reference to him. Because I remember that it was one of the things when he was running for the presidency. And they said, oh, he only got like a small loan from his dad to get the business started. And it was $1 million. And I was like, okay, but that's a direct reference to it, which I'm not surprised about. I don't like to talk about politics on my channel. I'm acknowledging this because, that's exactly what he's doing. That is a direct reference to the president. I'm not going to get too into that because, again, every 4 years we have an election, so and sometimes, it's every 8 years that we get a new president. Politics are not going to last forever. I understand doing biopics about certain times, like doing things about, you know, the 60s, just showing about, you know, different presidents. But if you're going to make your movie just about politics, in 20 years, no one's going to remember. The kids in 20 years aren't going to know about this. So making that, you know, a really big selling point on your movie, it's going to date it, and it's not going to be a timeless classic. And yeah, when you do stuff like when you do movies about the Vietnam War, usually people have done their research, or they're going to learn about things when they're watching that movie, and it's going to be about that time period. Do you think in 20 years people are going to see this movie, a murder mystery movie, and get every single reference? They're not going to understand this because it's not going to be relevant in 20 years. So when you're going to use politics as like a selling point in your movie, unless it's about you know the political campaigns, about what's going on, maybe, you know, like I said, about like situations like the Vietnam War, people aren't going to remember. People aren't going to know. So using this as like a selling point for one of your characters, in 20 years, kids are going to have to Google why that was important, or, you know, their parents or, you know, grandparents are going to have to tell them. But I think that is just, it's something that people do right then and there because it makes them feel entitled at the time. It makes them feel, you know, self-righteous and important. Oh, let me put this political message in this movie. And it's like, it's not going to age well. And it's hindering your art. And so that's why I always tell people, I'm like, you know, think before doing things. Maybe take a step back. That's why I don't, like I say, politics doesn't matter when it comes to, you know, like I said with Star Wars. It doesn't matter about politics. It really doesn't. So bringing politics into Star Wars is going to ruin it because it's not going to be relevant in 20 years. George Lucas took history that inspired him and wrote Star Wars. You can see, you know, the themes between the Empire and Nazi Germany. You can see just the way that they're, you know, the government is structured. It's a very fascist type of government. George Lucas took that and he used that concept to create a villain. And because, you know, Nazi Germany, you know, the Nazis are some of the most horrifying villains throughout our human history that actually happened. And he used that to inspire his villains. That's why the Empire is such a threatening force in Star Wars. He's not sitting there being like, oh, this is Hitler. Oh, you know, this is Mussolini. He's not sitting there going through the politics, you know, during the 70s. You don't get that. I'm not sitting through Star Wars watching, you know, political jabs at, you know, the political parties, presidents, candidates, politicians. You're not getting that. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why Star Wars is timeless. And if you want to understand why things stand out to you the way that they do, why the Empire is so threatening, why, you know, their uniforms are the way that they are, that's when you go back and you take, you know, a little bit of history and you learn about that. It's like, oh, they're, you know, inspired by this. That's, you know, why they seem so real. Doing, you know, half-assed jokes like this, it's not going to be timeless. It's going to date your work. And I think that's something that people in this day and age with movies don't understand. It's going to age, and it's not going to age well because this isn't going to be relevant in 20 years. Toni Collette is basically a glorified Instagram influencer, and that's probably working out great. Okay. Linda's husband, Richard Johnson, is cheating on her. Oh, lovely. So he's a man, so he's bad. Even worse, he's a Trump supporter. Oh my God, I didn't even read that sentence. And then, so, oh my God, this is just a movie about... This is just like an anti-Trump movie. And again, I don't like to talk about politics on my channel. I will never, you know, bring that up unless it like this. It's like, come on. I want to watch a movie about Clue. I don't care who you voted for. I really don't care. I don't even ask people that because it doesn't matter to me. I don't care who you voted for. Who you voted for has nothing to do with me watching a murder mystery movie. It doesn't. You think I'm watching the OG Clue and I'm thinking, I wonder who Tim Curry voted for president. No, because when I was a kid watching that, the movie been out for decades. Maybe not. What, did it come out in the 80s? Okay, so it been out for maybe like a decade when I was watching it. I didn't care. I'm not sitting there wondering, oh, I wonder who they all voted for. Oh my goodness, are they bad people because they voted for this instead of this because that person's a vegetarian and that person's not? No, I don't care. It has nothing to do with who murdered who. You're gonna... This is so frustrating. I don't care. I don't want politics in my movies. Walt's teenage son, Jacob, Jaden Martell, may be the only other self-identified Republican in the family, but he's basically a mini Ben Shapiro. Great. I know, like, almost nothing about Ben Shapiro except he's intelligent, he's Jewish, and he came up with that saying, facts don't care about your feelings. That's about it. I don't know too much about Ben Shapiro. I've never watched his show. So this is just a political... It's a political cartoon with real life people trying to play a murder mystery game. I'm not interested in this whatsoever. This is ridiculous. And, oh my god. Okay. Let's look at the sentence. Okay, so they have this. Okay. Okay, never mind. That's where the sentence starts. Walt's teenage son, Jacob, may be the only other self-identified Republican in the family, but he's basically a mini Ben Shapiro. Okay, this, you shouldn't start your sentences off with and. It very much bothers me. I remember when I was, in English classes and you would get marked down if you started a sentence with and. It's not proper. Considering, the type of writer this person is, I don't expect them to completely understand, properness, if that makes any sense. All they have to do is get rid of this and just go, but he's basically a mini Ben Shapiro. It's not like the rest of the family are doing all that much to separate this self from the MAGA politics. You didn't need the and. Again, all this movie is literally just an anti, Republican, anti-Trump, and, if you're anti-Trump, that's freaking fine. If you're for Trump, that's fine. I don't care. I really don't. Again, in 20 years, it's not going to matter. Not going to matter in the slightest. So... if that's all this is, if you like that kind of stuff, I guess this movie is for you. But if you are like me and you don't like politics in your movie, if you agree that in 20 years it's not going to matter, this is literally just a political cartoon with real life people getting shoved down your throat. They tell Martha that she's part of the family, but when it comes to splitting up Harlan's will, well, things are going to get complicated. Let's just say that the I would have voted for Obama for a third term energy is strong with this crowd, every single member of which feels like they deserve what's coming to them, and they do. They just don't know what it is yet. Oh, lovely. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Picking up where it summers, much bloodier, Ready or Not left off Knives Out is a story about people who convince themselves that being rich is their birthright, that they're entitled to their wealth because they've never had to work for it. Okay, but didn't this one lady... Okay, well, let me just look at that. Okay, yes, she got a loan from her father, but she built her own business from the ground up. That sounds like work. Okay, yeah, you give somebody money. She could have not had a successful business. She could have blown that money. You can look at so many people that get loans and, their businesses don't succeed. I mean, I watched, both my parents created and operated their own businesses. My father's still going. My mother started hers when I was little because she had a job where she traveled, but then when she started having babies, she's like, no, I can't travel as much anymore. So she opened up a business. It was successful, but then she decided that she needed to spend more time with me and my sisters, so she sold it. But I watched my father, operate his own business, and then I watched my mother start one, and then, end one. It wasn't because, she didn't run it successfully. It's just she wanted to spend more time at home with her children, and all that good stuff. And we had a farm, so it took a lot of work, so it just made more sense for her to do that, and it was better. But anyway, building your own business from the ground up is not easy. Yes, if you have money, that helps, but just because you have money to start a business doesn't mean it's going to succeed. So that means she actually had to work to make it succeed. Now, again, I haven't seen this movie. I don't know the way that Rian Johnson directs her to act, but if Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm assuming, is, she's not, she's an older lady. She's a respectable age, but I'm assuming that if she did that and she used the loan to do that, she's been doing it and running it successfully for years. So she has worked. Let's see, a glorified Instagram influencer. You have to get a platform and you have to constantly keep up with it. That is actually work. It is. They probably, downplay it, make her seem like, maybe, I'm assuming this is a woman. They probably make her seem like a bimbo. But, she is doing work. She's having to create content and post constantly and keep up with trends and everything and, study algorithms and stuff. That is work. She is doing work. This woman's husband is cheating on her. I don't know what they do because it doesn't say what their jobs are, it just talks about their qualities. But I'm assuming that these people have worked. They were just born rich and they continue to work. So again, I haven't seen this movie, but just based off of the information I've been given in this article, it's 2 + 2 isn't equaling 4. Let's see. But the movie is set in a changing world that's tearing up tradition however it can. That is because psychos like Rian Johnson are saying, destroy the past, kill it if you have to. And the film is genius in how it slowly embodies the change. Oh my God. The virtue signaling is strong. Taking one of the dustiest of genres. How is it dusty? How is a murder mystery dusty? People continue to do this story. What is the one? 10 Little Indians, that play? I have seen so many, signs, and I've gone to, so many of those plays because murder mysteries is like one of the number one plays you go and watch. I can think of, one example. One of my favorite movies is 12 Angry Men. It's not, a traditional murder mystery. It's, jurors, the 12 jurors in a jury room trying to solve the cases themselves with all the evidence that they were given. And it's a very different verdict in the beginning than it is at the end. And it's fascinating to see that. You would think, an hour and a half movie about, 12 angry men in a hot room trying to, they, half of them want to leave because they do have things to do. They don't want to sit and weigh on, the jury verdict. But it's an absolutely fascinating movie. So saying that this is dusty, okay, that you have the right to your opinion, but come on, I think you need to do your research a little bit better. Dustiest of genres and reupholstering it from the inside out. Oh God. So ruining it. This isn't just murder on the Orient Express with cell phones. Well, that's kind of what you're describing it, but the Orient Express actually sounds a lot more captivating than this. But rather a room-shaking crowd pleaser. Well, I'm not pleased. That reckons with how fresh Agatha Christie's books felt to those who read them in their time. I 100% doubt that. No, not at all. What starts as a simple murder mystery soon evolves into a brilliant, almost relentlessly fun examination of how the game has changed in a country where victory can't afford to be as one-sided as it used to be. Holy fucking shit! This entire article is one-sided. This is so simple-minded and one-sided. I don't, come on, look in a mirror. Look in a mirror. What is wrong with these people? I don't understand. Given the ridiculous depth of the film's celebrity cast, all of whom seem to be having oogles of fun, well, it's a murder mystery. Why are they having fun? Somebody died. It's serious. People are, it's supposed to be that anxiety of who did it? Did you do it? Oh my gosh, am I going to go in the room with Sally? Because Sally might have murdered it. What about Jack? Jack might have done it. It's one of those, you're supposed to be on your, the edge of your seat on your tiptoes because it's oh my gosh, are they going to think I did it kind of thing? It's not supposed to be fun. Well, it's supposed to be fun for the viewer, but it's that that anxiety that, it's supposed to be exciting and, thrilling. It's supposed to be a thriller type of thing with, like, that suspense. But saying that, oh, everyone's just having fun, because they're making fun of politics. It's like, really? It might be surprising that the relatively unfamous D. Arms emerges as the protagonist. Phenomenal in Blade Runner 2049 and even the recently premiered Wasp Network, I don't even know what that is, D. Arms has never had so much weight to carry on her shoulders, but Martha becomes a joy on the strength of her brutal sincerity. She's a pure soul. She literally cannot tell a lie without puking, and that makes her Blank's most invaluable ally. Okay. It's not a human. So it's another Mary Sue who is there to be their token ethnic person that can do absolutely no wrong. Very unrealistic. Oh, look, it's Captain America. The two of them are a sublime pair as Craig's scenery-chewing performance makes him the perfect foil for... I'm just going to call her Martha because I don't think I'm pronouncing her name wrong. For Martha's imminent sweetness and sincerity here makes for a 5-star meal as production designer David Crank, that's a funny name, turned the Thorn Bay house into a palpable maze of strange angles and secret passages. That is actually the most interesting thing I have read. Palpable maze and strange angles and secret passages. I love it when houses have secret passageways. Like, I think that that's absolutely fascinating. Like, if you ever can watch, like, a documentary on the Winchester Mystery House, it's so cool. I love that about old houses. And, like, if I got the opportunity to build my dream house, I would have a secret passageway in, like, every single room. And I love that. So this is the most fascinating thing I've read so far in this article. As though someone built a mansion by using a clue board game for blueprints. That's not interesting. It's literally like, here's the billiard room, here's the kitchen, here's this, and I guess, yeah, there's a couple secret passageways that you can cheat and go across the board. Well, it's not cheating, it's part of the game. It's enough to make Bond's actors Yi Hao prisoner turn into Logan Lucy feel like a warm-up routine by the time Craig gives a rambling monologue about donut holes that people will be insufferably misquoting for the next 6 months or 10 years. You'll have long forgotten that he's ever played 007. Well, I don't like him as James Bond. He is my least favorite James Bond out of all of them. So, I mean, he's a good actor. He's not my Bond. He's just not Bond. He doesn't capture that charisma that James Bond has, that James Bond should have. I don't like him as Bond. He's a fine actor. He's not Bond. But you won't be able to forget that he's played one of the most iconic characters in modern history. That's it's kind of insulting to him, not even gonna lie. I would think that you would bank on the fact that he's Bond. You'd kind of use that as a selling point. Oh, James Bond's in the movie. But I don't know. I'm surprised they're giving him any praise whatsoever since he's a white man. But the fact that they can't, they're already admitting that he's going to do a rambling monologue, so they're going to make him look like an idiot. He's the hero of the story, but he's the idiot. Donut holes that people will be insufferably misquoting. So Rian Johnson can't even write, like, a memorable quote. Lovely. At one point, that Foghorn Leghorn shtick is described as CSI KFC. Oh, sweet Jesus. As the black sheep of the Thorn Bay family comes sauntering in around the halfway point. His name is Ransom, and he's played by Steve Rogers himself, Chris Evans. So Captain America is the Foghorn Leghorn character. If Avengers Endgame found him becoming America's ass, here Evans gets to moonlight his as America's asshole. Great! So we're gonna ruin Captain America's character. So little kids that are, or I guess younger teens, I guess, or, tweens. So they're like, oh, the selling point, Captain America's in this movie, James Bond is in this movie, let's go watch it. Let's ruin the guy that played Captain America for all the kids that loved him. Yay, that's gonna be fun. He enters the movie like a sarcastic agent of chaos, but as with everything in Knives Out, there's more to him than meets the eye. So there's more to everyone than meets the eye except Martha, because she's an angel. She's a sweet angel that can't even tell a lie. And when a huge twist at the end of the first act reframes the entire mystery, it puts Martha right in the middle. Ransom emerges as the only member of the Harlan's kids to share his heart. Love and money may not be the same thing after all. Who is the Harlan kid? I feel like I have to have a list of all these characters. Who is it? Do I even care? I really don't. But who's Harlan? Is Harlan the Ben Shapiro kid? No, that's Jaden. I don't know who the Harlan person is. Okay, so Harlan is somebody that's gonna redeem themselves. Alright, cool. Or maybe they're even more closely related than we thought. As the movie stops to clear its throat and rest the board every 20 minutes or so, Knives Out keeps you guessing. Hot off the best... Oh my god, I can't read this. Oh my god. Hot off the worst Star Wars movie ever made, and seamlessly just entering his creative stride, or lack thereof, Johnson has devised a murder mystery that's eager to defy your expectations but unwilling to betray your trust. All Rian Johnson does is betray trust. There is not a creative bone in his body. You want to say that he's eager to defy your expectations? No, he is eager to destroy your dreams, destroy your childhood, and destroy everything that you loved, because that is the type of person that Rian Johnson is. He doesn't care about what made things great. All he does is care about destroying him. He wants to see something. Oh, let me take something iconic like Star Wars and let me fuck it up. Let me take something iconic like Clue and let me fuck it up. Agatha Christie? Murder mystery? Who the fuck cares? Let's just make it a political cartoon with real life people and let's destroy everything that you ever cared about. That's all Rian Johnson cares about, and that's all Rian Johnson does. Again, doesn't have a creative bone in his body. All he does is destroy things. He doesn't do it well, either. The film may be more smart than stylish, sharp home decor, that jangly, ticklish, fun Nathan Johnson score notwithstanding. Okay, so the only thing I'm getting out of this is that the set and the music is good. And it may opt for a reasonable outcome over an overwhelmingly shocking one, but Knives Out doesn't let the element of surprise run a good story. From its opening moment to its all-timer of a final shot, the film's greatest pleasures are character-driven, and those pressures even manage to survive a hectic second act that spends most of its energy laying down track for the third. Oh, great. Oh my goodness. Fitting enough, Knives Out is too much fun in the moment for you to dwell on what's come before or to be distracted guessing at where it's going. Or to be too distracted by guessing where it's going. That is the whole point of a murder mystery. Point is the entire time you're going, who did it? You're watching every single person, every single shot. You're trying to zoom in to see if you can find the clue. That's, at least for me, one of the most exciting things about a murder mystery is I like to solve puzzles. I love mysteries. I want to solve them. I loved Scooby-Doo as a kid. As I got older and I got to learn more and, more of the, grown-up type of things, it's like, that's what I want to do. I want to solve the mystery. I want to find it. I want to figure it out before the movie's over, because I want, to get that satisfaction of knowing that I figured it out. I want to solve the puzzle. So it's not even captivating enough for you to want to guess where it's going. That's sad. That's not a successful murder mystery movie. Even if you do somehow manage to piece the whole thing together in advance. Well, let me tell you this right now. It's Rian Johnson. Subvert your expectations. Whatever preconceived notion you have in your head for, figuring out a murder mystery, it's going to be the exact opposite, because it's Rian fucking Johnson. There's no way of predicting the joy of watching it all unfold. As playful as Wes Anderson, do not insult Wes Anderson. You can say whatever you want about Wes Anderson. I love his films. I love how artistic he is with every single shot. I love the Royal Tenenbaums. I love the Grand Budapest Hotel. And, you know, Fantastic Mr. Fox I wasn't too happy with because he went so far off the source material, and I loved that movie. But I'm a really big Wes Anderson fan, so don't ever insult Wes Anderson by comparing this garbage to his work. He is a creative genius. You look at every single shot, it is so beautifully crafted. Do not insult him. And then, and as literal as James Gray Johnson finally devised an original story. Oh, sweet Jesus, no. I like how they say he finally devised an original story, but they were just praising him for Star Wars. So, he doesn't have an original story in Star Wars, even though that was the first script he wrote for it. Well, now this is his first original story. Great, look at that. I like how they backpedal. They have their head so far up Johnson's ass in this article that they can't even get their own story straight, or they can't even get their own, you know, let me praise them. They can't even get their facts straight. But it's just, this is ridiculous. By his natural gamemanship. I doubt that. One that doesn't feel like it's suffocated by its own design. This is a movie about how the future of this country belongs to those who don't feel entitled to it. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't feel entitled to it? Rian Johnson, get the fuck off your high horse. The only person that I feel feels entitled to this is Rian Johnson. Look at the way that he destroyed Star Wars. Look at the way he treated Mark Hamill. Look at how he just had this utter disrespect for him and everything that Star Wars stood for. The only person that is entitled and feels that entitlement is Rian fucking Johnson, and he is a piece of shit and shouldn't be allowed to create anything in Hollywood. Disgusts me. And there's something beautiful about it and how it makes that very idea feel like a victory for everyone who's watching. This guy has his head so far up Rian Johnson's ass that I feel like it went into his brain and he's brainwashed him, because that's the only way somebody could praise this bullshit. Well, I have a headache now after reading so much virtue signaling and, you know, just, I mean, the art of subtlety is completely lost on these people. It's completely baffling to me. But, that's what we got now. That is what Hollywood is all about now. We can't have good movies because we gotta have jackasses like Rian Johnson there to destroy them. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. If you are just as frustrated as me, you probably have a lot to say. But if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little bell. And make sure that you are still subscribed, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people randomly. I don't know what's going on with their new algorithm. But just make sure that, you know, you're still subscribed. Make sure that little bell is checked. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.